Chat, are we live? Are we actually... Guys, we're live. It's crazy. Kurt Bro G stream in 2026? This, like, never happens anymore. Anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, work has been completely just ruining my streaming schedule. God, it's been ridiculous. Anyway, what's up, Till? What's up, Kurt? How you doing? Yeah, I've been like, I don't technically work on Sundays usually. I am next week, like a week on Sunday. But it's just, oh my god, the shifts are abysmal. They keep giving me the close shift, bro. Like, you know how, like, a standard working day is 9 till 5, like, 8 hours? Imagine that, but I start at 5. I do a 5 till 1. Like, in the morning. Like, bro, I'm working 5 PM to 1 AM minimum. It is crazy. It's crazy, bro. And sometimes, that's like the earliest I start. Sometimes I start at 3. 3 till 1. 10 hours. It's crazy. It's crazy. How am I doing that? I don't know, bro. It's not that bad. That's only on weekends because it's busy. It's the busiest place in my town, by far. You were at concert last week, so you could tune in. Oh, I hope that went well. You know, Sundays from slavery. It's almost as the same as the guy that raps numbers. True. We're doing those 10 hours. To be fair, I am. Yeah, I could have been doing so much more. Spirit records I could have got. Exactly, bro. Exactly. But no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Just sheer willpower. I get paid. I get paid £10 an hour plus tips. So it's like, oh yeah, oh no, 10-hour shift. No, that's actually just £100 I'm making in a day. So if you look at it that way, it's not bad. I made 250 quid last week. Like, bro, that might not sound a lot. I'm 18 with no outgoing, like, bills. Bro, that is pure profit. That is 250 quid of disposable income right into my bank account. The only outgoing, like, recurring bill I have is Spotify Premium. Like, bro, it's basically, like, I'm basically the richest man on earth right now. When's the work speedrun? Oh, don't worry, the work speedrun coming soon. Yeah, I think the last... I was having a look this morning. The last time I went on the Hive was... I think it was the 16th of January. To do a Hive stream. That was the last time I hopped on this server. It's been a while. I'm Elon. I'm the richest person ever. Exactly. No, I'm not Elon. Unlike Elon, I have a successful streaming career. He did not. The one stream he did, he got bullied off of the internet, which was really funny. Yeah, but no. So work's been kind of crazy. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Just the hours have been crazy. Yeah, but that's only weekends. Really, the only stream that gets impacted by that is Sunday. During the week, unless I'm working in close, streams are as usual. I think, if I'm not mistaken, streams should be relatively normal up until next Sunday. Sunday the 15th is the next stream that I will not be here for. That was my day. Good. I've been just chilling. I had a walk to Aldi. Got some bits for my lunch and some... Yeah, I had to buy some more mouthwash, new toothbrush, that kind of boring things. Came home, Did a bit of reading. I'm reading through a book. Oh no, it's down here now because I was reading it earlier. Black holes. You won't believe what it's about. Yeah, by Brian Cox. That was cool. Also did a little bit of studying. If you don't know, I'm trying to teach myself some like uni maths. So like astrophysics degree isn't a huge shock. And I've finally, after about a month of putting it off, actually have started multivariable calculus. Did the basics of partial derivatives today, which sounds scary. It's not. If you know anything about A-level maths, you'll be fine. So yeah, I did that, and then I've just kind of been playing Minecraft. I've got a I'm playing for this mod pack called Meatball Craft. It's an expert level pack. If you think back to last year, you know, the Enigmatica streams. Imagine that, but if everything was 5 times harder. It's basically that, and I'm having a great time on it because it's forced me to play the game in a different way. So I've been putting some crazy hours into that recently. But I unlocked a new dimension today, so I'm happy. Enigmatica didn't exist. Nah, it did. It's a good pack. It's just I don't think you guys are the right demographic to stream it. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to today. Yeah. I would have... see, I need to start the voiceover for the Garden Warfare Iceberg, but I've had a bit of a cold over the weekend. So I haven't really had... Like, I'm still... I want to be 100% before I want to do the voiceover, because I want that to sound... I want it to sound as clean as possible. I don't want to be coughing and just sounding ill all the time. So that will probably be done hopefully next week or some point late this week. But yeah, I guess while I'm waiting to recover, I could do like the B-roll and stuff for it. But yeah, that's in the works as well. So from all the available coverage content. Oh, like yeah, YouTube poop style. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I could do that. That sounds great. That sounds great. But tomorrow I'm going into another local town to play snooker. That's gonna be fun. But no, we'll open some Skywalls for a bit and just see what's going on. See, all my muscle memory is now linked to modded Minecraft, so I'm praying that I remember how to play Bedrock, because I have not been on here in like a month. You've drawn the Hive. Oh, nice. I'll send you a party invite. I'm going to start instinctively trying to like double tap to fly, because I got creative flight. I got like a little accessory that lets you have creative flight when you craft it on the mod pack. And yeah. Download hacks for real. I should just download hacks. That's a good shout. Splodger on the sun. Like, hey man, I had this in the modded version of the game. Can I please have them here? But no. Oh yeah, another thing. Me and George, and you might know Ethan is large. If you're on the Discord server, he's one of the co-owners. No, he's a co-owner. Yeah, we started a new Terraria run together because the new update. It's so peak. Genuinely, like I cannot name a single bad thing in the update. It's actually just the most beautiful update ever. So I'll tell him to let it slide. Yeah, exactly. Like just tell him to let it slide, and he'll be all good. Co-owner. He is a co-owner. He is. That's his role in the Discord. Bro, he's gonna craft some cookies, don't worry. So I have a feeling all of my skill on this game is gonna be eroded. He owns Cocoa, John Chocolate. That's what he should be called. He's John Chocolate. You know, maybe like skill hasn't been eroded. I'm like, why is the child slavery? Oh, true. No, we ain't Nestle. Don't worry, bro. I'm actually the GOAT. I actually am the GOAT. I still got it, bro. Unk still got it. Unk still got it for real. It's like you never left. It is actually like I never left. Guys, Kurt Bro G. Kurt Axo Unk off. No, I'd win. I'd win. I'm actually like, I've been going for so long. I'm pre-Hive. Bro, I'm Hive Java, man. Oh, Beehive. Real. It's a file child swiftness. I've actually got nothing, bro. You know what? I'm gonna hit. Hopefully they don't use my methods against me. Oh, they didn't. I'm on fire, bro. Someone help me. Someone help me, please. When does the fire end? Oh, now. Alright. Have they upped that? That seems way longer than usual. What is the plan, bro? Oh, yeah, right, I'm cooking. Exactly, I'm actually cooking. Unk is cooking. Bro, should I just call myself Unk Bro G? Like, I think I'm at that point now. You know what? I got one more of them. I got one more of them. It's fine. That's one less. Bro, easy, bro, bro. Are they aware? Do they know? All right. So we'll do another one. Man, why is Star Wars Mega just dead, bro? Hey, can you guys hear music okay, or is this another, like, fake music moment? Can hear it. Alright, cool. Yeah, because I got a banger on right now. We got bangers on. We only know bangers here. But like, there's a good chance music is hearable. Fantastic. It's seeming like next Tuesday it'll have to be a little bit of a later stream. Like I'll start at 6 and end normal time. So maybe if I don't know if we'll have finished Undertale Yellow by then. We've got Thursday to finish Undertale Yellow. What's up, 5-Stick? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. What's the Ares critique essay? What is that? I think sounds like Cobra G. We're actually the same person. Like, I am Kurt, I think. Right. Okay. Can I have a chest plate, please? Please, come on. Come on. Oh, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, game. Sword? No, another chest plate. Alright. We had a good thing going. Icy Patella's PvP. He has a PvP server now. What is he cooking? Can I have my blocks, please? Yeah, he does? What is this guy playing at? Oh my god, now I'm just getting crumbling cobblestone. Please. Please! Oh my god. Stack and a half of crumbling cobblestone before any blocks is insane. I need a bow as well. You get bows from these, can't you? Sorry. Come on, give me a bow. Probably cool as a block. It almost is. It almost is. It's amazing, really. Turtle, do you have a bow, my friend? No. No, but I got one. I got one. You have no bow. It's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Get him! Get him! Please give me a mod. Bro, I think we're good on moderators for now. We've got like 20 moderators, bro. Don't... Yeah. We need more? Do we? Do we really need more? Bro, he thought I'd be there! He thought I was gonna be there, bro! I'm here, man! Why can't I click him? Oh, I've just disconnected. Hello? It's happened again. I don't know where these people actually are. This is terrifying. If everyone's more, then everyone should watch. True, true. I think we're good now. I can no longer open my inventory, but okay. Well, that isn't seeming to be a problem right now. Was like 95% chat? They are. Oh my god, what is going on? I'm actually going to have to stop watching. I'm going to have to stop playing Minecraft on these streams. Every time I stream Minecraft, my internet just dies. Because what do you mean that... No, no, that's not... I can't stream this game anymore. Literally unplayable. Literally unplayable. I don't understand. I have internet. Can I please have my internet? Can I please have some internet on my PC? Hello? Hello? I still don't understand. It is just Minecraft this happens on now. They trying to silence me. Minecraft trying to cancel Kurt Bro G. I love your videos. Thank you so much, man. The 0 videos I've put out this year. That's fine. We got big stuff in the works. This is a sign to play something else. This actually could be a sign to play something else. You know what? If this is a sign to play something else, end my stream immediately. Ponty crash out ER, exactly. But yeah, no, it used to be if you join 3 streams. Do we pray? Yes, please. It was if you join 3 streams, I'd give you mod. Incredibly unsafe. I think that's how most people here got mod. I think Kurt's the only one here that I think didn't get mod because of that. I'm pretty sure Kurt got mod because there were people spamming and I couldn't deal with all of them like on my own. I think it was Kurt and Fujiro I had to like just quickly promote. There's an honorary 3 stream mod. Incredible. Oh yeah, your one was because no, sorry, it was just Fujiro. Yeah, your one was because of Lucky spamming. Yeah, that's really late then. That was like last year. But, yeah. That's how the things go. See the coverage. Last year, we were on the 3rd of February. Yeah. So last year was 2025. That's how a calendar works, Kurt. I'm so good. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Lies. Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah. We're on 3rd of February 2025. I gotcha. Yeah. Like, man, what a January, eh? What a January. So much happened. I just don't believe that it's 2026. Consistent view of color or something. That would be cool. I can't do it to show up on stream chat, but I can add like stream regulars onto Nightbot. We're not in the obese 26. We're not. Like, yeah, you can't tell me. Like, guys, do you want to know what was going on 8 years ago? Just like, I am gonna reference a specific event, but just kind of in general, just time frame wise, have a think of what was going on 8 years ago, and then I'm just gonna drop what actually was 8 years ago. Hi Bingus. You're using my stream as a way to stop your laptop falling asleep while it updates, so it's very much appreciated. No problem, bro. Update away. Update. Yo, do you want to do, like, everything? Just uninstall everything, reinstall everything. Like, 10 hours, you know? Yeah. Yeah, no problem, man. Enjoy your updating. Enjoy your updating. But no, yeah, this is what I was thinking. The Fortnite meteor was 8 years ago. Like, you know that whole thing of like, oh, it's gonna crash into Tuid. It's gonna crash into Tuid. And it didn't. 8 years ago. Yeah. What's up, Rascal? What's up, Akil? How you doing? Welcome. Your lucky number's actually 3 through 3. Nice. I watched that. Yeah, I was in that live event. I used to have it on my clips before, Xbox decided to remove them all for some reason. Actually detrimental. I've now got like 0 screenshots from console. You have then Fortnite. Oh, okay. No, so yeah, 10 hours. Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. What live event? Oh, yeah, the Fortnite Meteor Collision live event, like, nearly a decade ago. Did I hear about Adobe? Elaborate? '2018 was 8 years ago. That's crazy. That is crazy. Bro, Chicken Master's gonna be 8 years old this year. Bro, if what? Up and up. Nobody ever been doing YouTube that long. Chicken Master has been up for that long. It was goated. Bingus plays on 2 streams in 2 days. I expect nothing less from the greatest of all time. What? What? Oh, it's so over. Oh yeah, did you guys hear? This is more for the British viewers among you. Did you hear about the game going into administration? Basically, think like GameStop, but like in the UK. We had a chain of gaming shops called Game, and they went into administration a few months ago, and all of their stores have now closed. So we have pretty much 0 way of getting physical games, like, on the high street, unless you want to go to, like, CEX. Bro, CEX needs to step up, big time. What's going on with my frames, bro? We have CEX and that's it. But then again, that's just kind of, that's not just games, that's a physical media shop. So yeah, it might be over, chat. But well, you know what's not over? Me. Because we just won. But, like, yeah, incredible deals, yeah, it's the most popular life in number 2. Oh yeah, big time. They had, so I have one in, like, the next town, like, the next big town over. No, 9 kills, we're so back. Yeah, but, I think they had Assassin's Creed the Ezio collection for like a $5, but then they also had like, I think it was one of the older-ish Call of Duties, like PS3 or early PS4 era, for like 30, and it's like, I'm not paying £30 for a multiplayer PS3 game that no longer has server support. Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Assassin's Creed, you approach one of the worst pubs. You can. That's Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, that's a banger. That's a banger. That was insane. You actually just kill the Pope in that game. It's actually mad. I don't know how they got away with that. Can I please stop getting boots? Please. Oh my god, what is going on? What is going on, bro? Please! What? What's happening? Yeah, probably. But yeah, it was it was the Borgias, because then the whole second game is also about the Borgias. Well, I say it's second game, Brotherhood, in the Ezio trilogy, the second game. What's up, Ashy? How you doing? Welcome. The short search is so sexual. Oh, it is, but like I don't want YouTube to get the wrong idea. I want them to know very clearly I'm talking about the video, the game store, not the other thing. But yeah, it is. And they make that weirdly clear in their advertising. A lot of their advertising is related to how they're... Yeah, how they're actually called sex and not CEX. It's like, their whole like tagline for a bit was like, oh, CEX is pronounced sex. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are you playing at? Proper. This is proper British culture, though. This is what we love to see. I did not back. Devastating. Still no leggings, but we don't care. We still gangster. We do, but for the purposes of YouTube, I can't. They're terrible. Oh, they do. When I went to Insomnia, banger. When I went to Insomnia a few years back, there was a shark that was advertising CEX. It was really odd. I'll try and get the picture up in a moment. I have it on my phone. I'll try and get the picture up after this game. But it was just, yeah, really peculiar advertising. What's up, SynCal MC? How you doing? Welcome. Family content. Exactly. This is family friendly, PG clean. Still 2 teams alive. You actually got killed? No way. Oh, I see a green person. I'm going over some. Oh, I thought they were getting back on the bridge. No, clearly not. Sometimes bravery is mistaken for foolishness. Or is it the other way around? What's up, Bowen? How you doing, Malcolm? It's PG-13 show, no 18 stuff. Guys, only on a Thursday. Only on a Thursday. Good, how about you? Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Lol. Kurt's 18, so doesn't mean no Kurt. Yeah. Look, bro, Kurt, we can't be saying that now. Also, we're doing genocide route, so we can't. It's not even gonna happen. Right, so it's a red person who's the last one. Do they have a tracking compass in one of the chests? Is there a reminder on it? Yeah, sure. We're not getting full lobbies anymore, bro. Full pies. I'm not big enough for that anymore. Apparently around this area. Where are they? Where could... Oh, I see. Oh, there's 2 of them. Should I have gotten leggings? Probably. Am I gonna get leggings? Nah. Oh, they're not following me. I already helped my boy out. Right, we need to go to 4K. If I can get 4K before I end my channel, that'd actually be crazy. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I've been losing subscribers because I just don't upload. I just don't upload anymore. That's the thing. Why is it every time I try and attack them, does both of them go for me? Like, bro, do you not have bigger fish to fry? Can't believe. I will have to do like a generational lock-in on YouTube, and unfortunately, that's just not. That's not the goal anymore. I don't have the. I don't have the energy to do it. Alright, it's a 2v2. I need diamond leggings if I'm gonna get anything done. That's why you go shifts at work. True. But it's not even that. It's not even that, because I do get plenty of time. Out of work, because I know I say like, oh yeah, it's long hours. I'm working like 3 days a week, like my actual week. So I'm not going in until Friday. Like my next shift is Friday evening. So it's not like it's work. It's just YouTube's not really my priority anymore. My priority is getting ready for uni. I wanna because that's been a goal for such a long time. Like, uni has been the end goal for about 5 years. Like my specific course. I am not taking any chances. If I can do something that will help me later down the line, I will do it. So I've been just doing all of that. Like, that's why I'm teaching myself, like, higher level maths. Because then when eventually we get to that in, like, the actual course, oh, well, I already know it. This is going to be a breeze. Stuff like that. Because, like, partial derivatives aren't a thing you learn in A-level. They're just, they're not, like, difficult. It's just, it's not on the spec. But it's going to be relevant to my course. It's stuff like that. Like, I want to really make the most of it. So, I feel like to do that, I need to not be. I need to actually, like, lock in beforehand. Yeah, true. Like, don't get me wrong. I love playing Minecraft and I love doing all that stuff, but it's just, it's not a realistic goal anymore. Maybe 5 years ago, when I was like 13, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get famous YouTuber, I'm gonna live in big house, all that, you know, like everyone told themselves when they were 13, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get big on YouTube, all that stuff. Maybe if that were the case, and I was still in that mindset, then yeah, sure. Also, just peep the double. Sorry, back to Aura Farm quickly. Yeah, so anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so basically, yeah, if like 5 years ago, where I could have way more time to focus on YouTube, if I'm gonna make something out of that, yeah, sure. Maybe I'd be choosing my priorities a bit differently now, but that's just not the way it happened. I think if I wanted to get something out of YouTube, like really long term, like a full career out of it, I should have locked in during COVID, and I didn't. I didn't. I made the same 5 videos every week, and it did basically nothing. It wasn't until like 2021, 2022 that I actually started locking in. Like, it was probably... Oh, I still got it. Don't worry, I still got it. We're going into another. So, yeah, it's not a realistic goal anymore. Yeah, oh yeah. And I think that's the thing. People... I'm going to pause the music here, because this is actually, like... Mineplex Creative Housing was gas, though. Oh, for it. No, okay. Mineplex Creative Housing and the achievement guide I made, bangers. They were the highlights of 2020. They were bangers. They were classics. The Creative Housing videos are classics. They are like, I know they were still in like the Let's Play format. Nah, they're still bangers. They're still bangers. Because like, I don't know why. Every time I made one of those, it'd get like 200 views plus. What the most viewed Let's Play video I have, that is like just me sitting down in front of a camera and playing Minecraft, is a Creative Housing video. It has like 3K. I don't know why it has 3,000 views. I don't understand. It just does. It just, the algorithm really liked pushing it out. So I did. I did a lot of those. And I did enjoy it. And it's such a shame it's not a thing anymore. I miss it. I miss it. Otherwise, I'd still be hopping on it every now and then. Doing some videos on it. But yeah, no, I think the whole thing of people thinking getting successful on YouTube is easy, they're wrong. Because it's pure survivorship bias. They see the people who made it. And they think everyone makes it. There are like, I think, going off of estimates I saw a few years back, there's something like 100 million YouTube channels actively posting content. 100 million. And you're seeing maybe a couple thousand of those reach it. That's a fraction of a percent. That is no one. But it gives the impression that everyone makes it. And that's just not true. Maybe if you're in like a really small niche, like Hive content, for example, I would say I've made it. I'm very well known in the Hive community. At least I am among the people who've been here for a bit longer. Nowadays, I'm basically a nobody. But back in like 2021 to 2023, I was up there. I was like one of the top people. Like, people knew me. I was invited to every tournament except Hive Gauntlet. Still don't know why Hive Gauntlet never let me in. But yeah, it's stuff like that. I think in a very small niche, you can definitely, it's definitely easier. But YouTube as a whole, unless you are like PewDiePie, like level, like Markiplier, Dan TDM, that kind of big, you are in the grand scheme of things a nobody on YouTube. New gens wish they knew the car. They don't understand the iceberg era of Kurt Bro G. That was the prime. They don't understand the prime. But no, it's just, yeah, I don't think. I think the people who try to sell. Oh, sorry, Ashley, I forgot to invite you. I think people who try to sell the idea of like, oh yeah, get really famous on YouTube, they're just lying to you. Because that's not how it works. And that's why I don't like, okay, well, I say I don't like, and it is true. I have used them in the past for various things. Not anything major, but for like keywords and all that. But stuff like TubeBuddy, Social Blade, vidIQ, that kind of thing. Because they're like, oh yeah, do this really simple setup and get loads of subscribers. That's not how it works. That's just simply not how YouTube works. And they try to make it seem like it's a game you can play and like win. There's no winning. You only just do it, you do a little bit better each time. But that's the fun of it. If you're in it for like an end goal, you're gonna burn out. You gotta be there for the journey. A quote that, again, I'm pausing the music because this is important. A quote that stuck out to me, and I've kind of internalized it because I think it's quite an important quote to have, especially in life. Is the man who enjoys walking will walk further than the person who enjoys the destination. If you've got a path, you can sometimes go to a small community if you're lucky, but you'll never likely leave there. You'll never make enough money to live off of YouTube. Exactly, yeah. Actual full-time creators are few and far between. Hive Eugen's got a feisty, so return. Where's their Bingus coverage GM90? Bro, they wish they saw Prime Ponty and Prime Auracat. They wish. They wish they were there for the release of Is Evident Hard. They just wish they were there. They wish they were there. That is like top 5 Hive videos ever. But no, going back to my thing. Yeah, if you've got a path and there's a thing at the end, why stop there? Unless it's like obviously a huge time commitment and you're there and it's like it is like a type of thing where it's like, oh yeah, once I get this, there's no reason to keep going. Okay, that's fair enough. Take like, I don't know, what will kind of be a thought? Because Those kinds of things aren't actually that common. Okay, let's say 100%ing a game, because I do this. If you 100% a game, not just get all the achievements, but in the truest sense, you finished the game. You've done absolutely everything. And you feel like, yeah, that's a good place to stop. You've reached the destination. There's no reason to keep walking. Now, if you want to keep walking, nothing's stopping you, but there's nothing new to gain from that. But if you enjoy it, keep going. Feel free. If you enjoy walking in that game, keep walking. If you enjoy it. But then take something like, let's say, doing an exam. You do it in all subjects. Let's be a bit more broad. Let's say A levels. You've done. You won't believe this. I'm using myself as an example again. You've done your A levels. You've gone through the exam. Let's say it's physics, and you don't plan on going to you don't plan on going to university, but you're still doing the A level physics. You complete the exam, and because psychologically, this is a proof of fact, students will generally forget about 90% of the things they studied for after the exam finishes. I have to go now, Kurt. Alright, see you later. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. But yeah, about 90% of the things you remember, gone. Because it was cramming. But, even if it's not relevant, what if you just enjoyed the subject? What if you just want to do it for the love of the game? So, because you enjoy the walking in that course, after the exam finishes, you keep walking a little bit more. And then you realise, damn, this is kind of peak. So you keep going. But because you haven't got the pressure, you haven't got the stress, you haven't got to think about the destination, you absorb it more. And you realise you're actually enjoying yourself doing it. So this also brings on to... Death Run. Yeah, sure, bro. We'll have some Subway Surfers background noise or whatever you guys want while I talk about my little deep chat that I like to do every now and then, because I feel like I'm embracing the unk. I'm imparting my wisdom to the youth. But yeah, if you just want to keep walking, you want to keep learning, do that. If you enjoy it, do that. But don't just think because you've reached a destination, you don't have to do it anymore. Because then it's your choice. Do you want to keep going, or do you want to keep going, or do you want to stay stagnant? And if you don't want to stay stagnant, you've got to learn to enjoy walking. Anyway, that's my little bit of advice for you guys. Let's play some Death Run. That Flora. I actually have played this map like maybe twice. What's up, noob? Say there, man. Welcome. I actually don't remember this map at all. I may have accidentally tapped my A key. Alright guys, Kerber G still got it. Kerber G, he might not have it, guys. Goat's washed. Goat's washed. I should have left here. So that walk over a really nice coat. Yeah. I'm glad you think it's a nice quote. But that could apply to loads of different things. Yeah, like maybe if ignoring like the whole destination bit, learning to love walking, like that could be like, oh, if you wanna. Let's say again, you want to start going to the gym, but you don't enjoy it, but you want to get in shape. It's necessary. You gotta go to the gym. You gotta eventually learn to enjoy it. If otherwise you'll just kind of fall back. So you gotta, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and get it done. Got better name is, yeah, of course, bro. I'll send you an invite. Welcome to the stream as well. Hope you're doing good. Oh. Right, I'll add you and then you're not on. I'll add you and then yeah, you can. I'll send you an invite whenever you're on. Oh, could not find a player with the name. Wait, it could earlier. What's going on? Oh, I put a U. Whoops. There we go. What is this? Yeah. Oh, school. Alright, cool. Red? Nice. Right, I just got... What is real? Good question. Good question. And I think, again, this boils down to some philosophy. Now, so I'm a fan of Vsauce. You know that guy. I'm like, hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Again, that's also another question I have. If he's calling us Vsauce, are we Vsauce? Because he's saying Michael here. He's not saying he's Vsauce. So he's not saying like, hey, YouTube Vsauce here. He's saying, hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Are we Vsauce? Food for thought. Anyway, he had a whole video called Do Chairs Exist? And it kind of freaked me out for a little while. Because it basically says, yeah, at what point does a chair stop being a chair? Which is a really good question, actually. Like, if you take... Let's say you take like a bit of... you take an atom off every time. These bed wars. I would have bed wars in a bit, don't worry, man. If you take an atom off a chair bit by bit, at what atom does it stop being a chair? Like, when does that stop being real? When does it stop being a chair? Again, food for thought. I have an answer to that. Can we please play bed rules? Yeah, we will in a bit. What was I gonna say on it? You're valid. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Continue John philosophy. I haven't really got any more to add to that one. Well, actually, yes I do. Yes I do. So, basically, there's a thing. I think I just realized I've already explained this like 50 million times. If you wanna read about it, look up Boltzmann brain. That will just be what I'm talking about here. That's your answer to what is real. Also, Cam, how you doing? 1v1? Sure, in a bit. Go through the floor out to rest your legs. That's a good definition of a chair. That is a good definition of a chair. I understand. Yeah, we'll 1v1 in a bit, Ken. What isn't a chair? Ooh. That is a good question. That is a really good question. What is... Yeah, what isn't a chair? Terrible chair. Ooh. I guess something you can't sit on. Like, at all, ever. Like, the sun's not a chair because you'll die before reaching it. But interestingly, black holes can be chairs. You can sit down inside a black hole. But then what's the scale? Because, like, you can call Earth a chair. Because you can sit on the Earth, but that's because we're bound to it. One of those is not like the others, Kurt. Yeah, so yeah, a black hole could be a chair because once you go in a chair, let's assume you're immortal. Let's assume you're immortal and you can't die. Okay? If you go inside a black hole, you actually stay there until the end of time. You can just sit down. You just take a seat. And you'll be fine. But no, that's a good question. But then also, very paradoxically, that opens up an intersect of things that are and aren't chairs. Stay with me now. Stay with me, because if you think something you can sit on, if that's classified as a chair, however it's not sold as a chair. For example, a bed. A bed isn't a chair literally, but it can be metaphorically. When does a surface go from ground to chair? Ooh. Now that's a good question. New video or short concept dropped? What, philosophy with Kurt Bro G? And it's just me talking about chairs. So once it's elevated. Yeah, does a chair require elevation? But then relative to what? Elevation relative to, like, the ground? But then what's the ground? Because the ground fluctuates in elevation all the time. Does that mean you're only truly on the ground at sea level? Because that's no elevation. But then what happens if you go under sea level? Are caves negative chairs? Well, atoms don't touch, so everything's raised. They may not touch, but they can exist on the same, like, Y coordinate. And then they wouldn't be raised. That brings relativity into it, because, like, raised at the atomic level, raised relative to what? Other atoms? But then what are those other atoms raised to relatively? Because atoms are directionless. An atom doesn't know a concept of up and down. Show engagement. This actually could be. I feel like I'm on a podcast right now. This sounds like the type of thing you'd discuss on a podcast. Comment below what you think is a chair. Exactly. I think Rafe might have invented new philosophy. But I want to explore the negative chair concept a bit more. Because... Which side podcast? Oh, good question. Good question. Rafism. Yeah. But yeah, what? Yeah, like, what would constitute as a negative chair? Would it be just something that is below sea level? If you're relative to the Earth, below sea level means you are at a negative elevation. Therefore, if you sit down under the sea, you're on a negative chair. What counts as a hole? Yeah, I was going to say, I think, would a chair be something that you sit on below sea level, or would a chair be something that de-elevates you? Like a hole. So is a hole a negative chair? You said chair had to elevate you. Because you're the CEO of Mojang. I should. Bro, I'd get this game to be the greatest game of all time. Actually. It kind of already is, so I can't lie. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'd actually push content updates if I was CEO of Mojang. But yeah. What? So are we saying a chair? Are we saying a chair does not have to necessarily elevate you? What if, hear me out on this, what if a chair could theoretically de-elevate everything around you? Would that be a chair? Would you then be sitting on a chair, or would you just be surrounded by negative chairs? Small chair can't elevate you, but can elevate something small. Is a chair relative? Yeah. Yeah, that's... I think so. I think what constitutes as a chair is relative. Following the abstraction of it just being something that raises you above your original position relative to the ground. Then if we say the elevation is a constant, the size that constitutes as a chair would be relative. Because obviously, like, let's say you got, like, a really small object on a chair this tall. That's not going to be a chair for me. But for it, it's going to be a chair. It's a shower force. Now, this is philosophy. This is completely different. This is... We might actually be, like... This is what Socrates was on about. Let's go on some shorts. Should we just make this whole bit a shorts clip? Yeah, you know what? This is how I revive the channel. Just talk about random stuff on stream. This could actually do numbers. But I feel like we're onto something. Guys, if I ever win a Nobel Prize for my work in this, I'm thanking you lot. Does something need to be alive to be sitting on a chair? Is a rock on a chair sitting? I think to answer this question, we need to bring in Schrodinger's cat. Hear me out on this. Alright, okay, so you know what I'm saying? You all know Schrodinger's cat. If I do not know if the cat is dead or alive until I look inside the box. You know that one. That one, like that whole thing. Well, what if there's actually a chair in there? I do not know if the cat, the dead or alive cat, is sitting on the chair until I'm looking inside the box. At what point is someone just on top of the chair rather than sitting? Let A the video, then A short script and link to the video. You might be on to say. The word sit is a verb and you're actively sitting, so how can a non-living thing actually be actively doing something? Hang on, there's a word for this. Giving human characteristics to non-living things. Anthropomorphism. Look, I don't mean furries. This is also about... This says... the attribution of human form, character, or attributes to non-human entities. That includes rocks. That includes rocks. Rocks aren't humans. No, zoomorphism's the other way around. That's giving animal things to humans. So... if you want to get like that, you can technically say a rock is sitting on a chair. That is fine English. That is still fine English. Like a plush, does that count? Yeah, let's say it's a plush instead of a rock. So it's like it's a yeah. It looks like a living thing. When does something look like someone? That's a case that pareidolia. If your brain registers as it is looking like a someone, it's a someone. Messed up canyon skip, devastating. But yeah, so... where did we get... sorry, I had to lock in on that. It does. What about Dwayne? Is he a rock or a man? No, he is the rock. How much does something need to look like it's sitting to sit? I think as long as it's on the chair, it's sitting. You guys know what I'm saying? See, the pen just to sit. It's just a head as it's sitting. Well, yeah, we've already said that, and anything can be sitting. Because you can just apply anthropomorphism. So it would not need appendages to sit. I fear we may have reached a wall with this line of thinking. Let's take it back to being a little bit less abstract. What counts as a chair, part-wise? Like, at what point, for example, does a chair become a stool? Is it just when the back's taken off? But then what counts as the back? Because even if you take the back off, there's still going to be remnants of the back. So the back's never truly gone. So can a stool, there used to be a chair, ever be considered anything other than a chair? So it still counts as a chair. See, I would think they are two separate things. But that must mean there's something in the back that makes the chair a chair. So what is the thing in the back that is causing that distinction? I think that's the question we must ask ourselves at this stage. What power does the back have of a chair? But then the same thing can also be applied. Let's say you got a particularly comfy chair, particularly fancy chair, and you got a cushion on it. If you take the legs away, when does the chair stop being a chair, and when does it start becoming a cushion? Well then, is it more everything is a stool than everything is a chair? Perhaps. Perhaps it is, but stools are variations of a chair. Because stools are just a chair with the back taken off. Or at least in some cases. The back isn't required to be a chair. Okay. So stools are chairs. So the back actually holds no power. This is good to know. This is good information to know. Is a cushion a chair? Does it need to be a specific size to be a chair? Oh, that's a good question. And I think this leads back onto Kurt's point. Because beanbags, you can get beanbag cushions. You get beanbag cushions. But they're chairs. They're actually chairs. So are cushions chairs? Is a small cushion a chair, or does it not lift you up enough? Exactly. How much lift does a chair have to have for it to be a chair? Is a chair proportional to how much it lifts you? Yeah, is there like a chair level? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be like, there's a level of chair, and if it doesn't lift you up enough, it's not chair enough. Can something be 50% chair? That's a good question. Yeah, what would make something half a chair? Do CS? We'll CS do you guys want. Let's restart your Hive, no problem. Yeah, Harold, pause. I just had a revelation. This leads on to super tasks. Let me explain. So a super task is something that, given a finite amount of time, can be done, but requires an infinite amount of steps. Think like this. If you cut a cake in half, so let's say you cut it in half, you got 2 minutes to do this, by the way. You cut it in half, you wait 1 minute before the second cut. Cut it in half again, you now only wait 30 seconds. So the time between cuts is halving, and you keep going to infinity. You will have cut it an infinite amount of times by the time 2 minutes rolls around. That's just how it's going to work. That's just how it works, because the time keeps halving and halving and halving. However, this does lead on to a finite area that you could frost the cake. You do whatever you want to cake. You've cut it an infinite amount of times. You've somehow given it an infinite volume, an infinite length as well, because you've been able to cut it an infinite amount of times. But it's still only a finite area. What about a chair? If you cut a chair in half, that's still a chair. You can sit on the other half. You might be a little bit wobbly. You might have some stability issues, but you'll have 2 legs. You'll have a back. You'll have a seat. You'll have a chair. So what happens if you cut it in half again? Same rules still apply. You'll still have the legs will still be in half, but you still have a chair. And again, and again, and again. How small can chairs go? You could cut a chair an infinite amount of times, and it would still be a chair. Even subatomically. You can cut a chair an infinite amount of times and it will still be a chair. You could do that anyway, because we've just explained ourselves. If you cut a chair, well, a chair counts as a bit you sit on. You can sit on anything. Anything's a chair. Take the back off, it becomes a stool. A stool's a type of chair. Is it a chair in name or a chair in use? Well, I've kind of been considering a chair to be something that if it meets certain criteria, it is a chair. In practicality, no, you'd not be able to sit on it, but this is all theoretical anyway. You cannot have an infinitely small chair. Just like you cannot have an infinitely small slice of cake. It has to be finite. So, theoretically, let's say you've got an infinitely small person sitting on the infinitely small chair. That'd still be a chair to them. That'd still be a chair to them because it's proportional. And that leads on to the whole thing of proportionality. A chair is only a chair if you can sit on it. If you can't sit on it, it's not a chair. Relative to you, it's not a chair. Chairs are relative. Chairs are relative. That's my final answer. Chairs are a relative concept. If it's too big for you, that's not a chair. If it's too small for you, that's not a chair. It's just right for you. That's a chair. We're calling that Goldilocks' chair theory. Thank you very much, Robin Cobra G. Let's play some Minecraft. What is too big or too small? Okay. What is too big or too small? This is a good question. So, too small, I would constitute as A, you either crush the chair, or B, you fall off the chair because it is too small. And then opposite way around. Also, you can walk through that, don't mind. And for being too big, if you cannot easily, well, no, that's too much of a general term. This has to be indefinite. Too big would be if I stand up, yeah. If I would then have to climb or do anything above this area of my body, that is too big. If I can go like that onto the chair, that's fine. That's either good enough or too small. However, if I have to like kind of go like that and then like try and prop myself up, that's too big. Is a ledge a chair? Oh, because it's connected to something. It's connected. The ledge is connected to something. Would that make buildings chairs as well? Like internal chairs? Like if you've got a ledge inside a building, would that be an internal chair? If I sit on the side of a cliff, is that cliff a chair? Or ground? Well, if we go to the whole elevation gain theory, then the whole cliff is a chair because it raises you above sea level. What was your height or weight for the small one? Would there be a formula for too big to too small? It would depend on what the chair is made of. Because too small, you may not crush it, depending on the material. If you've got a chair made of like, I don't know, osmium, if you sit on that and it's like way too small for you, it's not going to crush. You're just not going to fit. It's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt the chair, but it won't crush. Is the whole world a chair? Because we can sit anywhere. Okay, new theory unlocked. Grand chair theory. This is the theory that states the entire world is a chair relative to the universe. Factual, yes. If we want to follow our line of thinking, yes. The whole world is a chair because our net elevation gain is 0. Relative to everything else in the universe, it's also 0. So yeah, the whole world is a chair because you can sit on the ground. So, what we've learnt today. Goldilocks' chair theory is an up-and-comer in the philosophy community. When does ground go to chair? Oh, that's a good question. That is a really good question. When does ground go to chair? Ooh, yeah. Well, I think it's going to have to go to the sand pile. We don't directly to disprove any of this. Yo, can we Occam's razor this? Can the edges of ground count as a chair, but the center of ground cannot? That's a really good question. Yeah, because in the center there's no net elevation gain because you're already there. But on the edges, there is elevation gain. So I think for it to be a chair, it'd have to be the edge of something. Yeah. Yeah, that's sound logic. That's sound logic. Chair is just hair that you can see. So does it mean your hair is a chair to someone because they can see your hair? Go on the sea level at the beginning and get a really tall chair. Well, that's the thing. Because of Goldilocks chair theory, that's not possible. Because that would mean that isn't a chair. That's not a chair for you. Because if it's a really tall chair, once you get on it, it's not a chair. Because relative to you, it's too big. So that wouldn't be a chair. Does a ledge count as a chair, or is a ledge something different from a chair? I think for it to be a chair, it'd have to be a standalone thing. It'd have to be movable, independent of anything else. You climb up it, get on top, then sit on it. Is it a chair? No. Because to sit on a chair, it first must be below you. That's rule number 1 of Goldilocks chair theory. If you have to reach or you have to climb, that is not a chair. That is a ledge. That is something to climb. That is not a chair. That is not, because we know chairs are relative. That is a chair relative to something else. That is not a chair relative to you. 3 states: ground, chair, ledge. Yes. From your new position. Okay. If you were then to redefine your position once you're on the chair, let's say it's almost like an elevator kind of chair, where you go onto it. You're now on a different floor. You now match the height of the chair. That would then be a chair to you, because you don't have to climb. You can just sit down on it. It is below you. However, if you were at the bottom if you were on the initial frame of reference at the bottom, that'd be far too tall. You'd have to redefine your position elsewhere. So it's not a chair until you can sit on it. Which then leads on to quantum superposition. Again, hear me out on this. This sounds crazy, but it will be relevant. So quantum superposition is basically a quantum particle is in all possible states at once until directly observed. Think what we just described with chairs. With a chair, It is in all possible states of being able to be sat on or not sat on by anything, anywhere, right? Until you're at the height where you can sit on it. Then you can sit on it. It's either 2 ground, 2 ledge, or a chair. Yes, and when it's a chair, it's just right. Is there any way to Newton flaming laser sword this? Yes. If it cannot be proved... Wait, what is it? Yeah, if it cannot be proven by experiment, there is no need for debate. Experiment! Formulation of the experiment, okay? How you're going to do this is very simple. If you can sit down on it without having to climb, it's a chair. If it doesn't break under the weight... Hang on, no. You know what? No, I'm going full scientist on this. Let's get a Google Doc open. Let's get a Google Doc open. We're going to Google Doc this. Let me... I think I've got window capture on. Yeah, alright, okay. So. What have I got? Oh, I want to exit full screen. We're going to call this... Alright. Ben answers this. Oh, I will. So this is Goldilocks chair theory. Okay? So. We're going to introduce these things called postulates. These are basically things that are like the rules of the theory, okay? The rules of the theory. So, to be a chair, it must be below the... it must be lower than the observer relative to the observer. Basically, this means for it to be a chair, it's got to be below you. You got to look at it, it's got to be below you. Otherwise, you can't sit on it. Sheet on the ground is not a chair or chair. A very small chair. But because it'll dampen in when you sit down, no elevation gain. So not a chair. To be a chair, it must give you elevation gain. We all sounding good with this? Also, let's get some music on. Alright, okay, so to be a chair, it must be lower than the observer. To be a chair, it must give you elevation gain relative to your starting position. To be a well, I don't know, and postulates. All chairs are relative to the size of the observer. Okay, so that's our 3 postulates. Those are the 3 postulates of Goldilocks chair theory. So, to be a chair, it must be lower than the relative height of the observer. It must give you elevation gain relative to your starting position. And all chairs are relative to the size of the observer. Now, we also know, so implications of these postulates, all objects that give elevation Fourth postulate. To be a chair, it must move independently of any other object or system. So it can't be attached to something. Implications of the postulates. Chairs cannot be bigger than the observer. You guys following with me on this? I've lost all my viewers, bro. This is what I'm sacrificing for chair theory. I promise I'll get back to the game. Can we touch? If I touch the ground, it's not a chair. No, no, that's not what I mean. I mean it in the sense of, like, if a building has a ledge, that's not a chair. That's part of the building. Wait, so it's baby's high chair. Chair. Wait. No. No, because relative to the baby, it's too big. Ah. No. It still works. It still works. We're going to have to introduce a fifth postulate here. The observer must be able to independently get in the chair. Babies don't independently get in high chairs. And it is also a high chair, it's not a chair. It is a high chair. But babies have to be helped in. Is a normal sized chair not a chair for a baby? No. It's too big. To be a chair, it must be relative. Is a chair a ledge for a baby? Yes. Yes, it is. Because they'd have to climb it. Hang on. I'm going to add a new thing. Proposals. 3 types of ground. Surface, chair, and ledge. But it's still called a chair. Is it then not a chair? Ooh. Is it still called a chair? Well, it's... Okay, so... Language-wise, yes, it is a chair. Because that's what we define. But then, no, because that's the whole thing we're trying to answer here. That's the whole thing we're trying to answer. Is... What is a chair, really? Because chairs are social constructs. If you want to get really abstract, chairs don't exist. Yeah, how much does something look like a chair for it to be called a chair? That's a good question. Is the name chair separate from the chair, the concept? I would say... Yes, for this theory, yes. When we say chairs, we mean the concept of a chair, not something that a chair could be. Yes, we'll say the name chair is separate from the concept of a chair. But yeah, we're gonna have to have another fifth postulate. To be a chair, the observer must seat themselves independently. So, implications of the postulates. Chairs cannot be bigger than the observer. chairs will always increase elevation gain. A chair for one person may not be a chair for another. Oh, hi, Scarf. Kurt, well, the actual hell are we doing? You've missed the past 40 minutes of this stream. All we have done is theorize on what is a chair. This will be a series of YouTube shorts. Seating attached to buildings are not chairs. What's up, Pringo Hayden? They are part of the building. And to me, as high chairs are not chairs. Wide shorts first, sir. Both. Both. It's genuinely anything from the stream's intended game when I go tune in. What's up, George? Sure needs a fit. Oh, benches! Oh, we didn't even consider actually, no, yes we did. Yes we did. Benches are chairs. They fit the postulates. What are we doing? Goldilocks chair theory. Basically, I've proposed a theory that chairs are relative to the size of the observer. That is the most important postulate of this thing. Basically, shortest section of the video that links to it. Yes, exactly, exactly. Benches aren't chairs. Chairs are benches. The word chair from... Now, Scarf, important distinction. We are talking strictly about chairs the concept, not chairs the word. That is a English language thing. That's a social construct. We're talking about, like, the philosophy of a chair as an object. Stools. Stools are chairs. How much until something is a chair or too big or too small to be a chair? Are you like unwell? No. How? Yeah, we skipped past that way too quick. How does Scarf just have the etymology of a chair on lock? But no, yeah. So for the this memory story, great. But no, for this theory, benches are chairs. Chairs we're using as just kind of slang to denote the theory. Yeah, Scarf just knows that. So implications of... Is a dog bed classified as a chair? Well, if you look at the postulate, so it is lower than the observer. It doesn't give you elevation gain. Well, hang on. We need to redo the second postulate because that is not kind of... That's not what I mean. I should have put surface sitting position. So if you sat on the floor, would you make you higher elevation than on the floor? Otherwise, that's a negative chair. We haven't really theorized about that much yet. We've got, as far as we got, is holes. Holes are negative chairs. All chairs are relative to the size of observer. That's the bit that's gonna get you, because that chair's not made for you. It's not a chair for you. It's a chair for a dog. That's a dog chair. A mono wheel. What is a mono wheel? What is this? Stairs? Stairs is an entire thing? Yes. Because at any point where you're sitting on the chair, sorry, on the stair, you will have gained elevation compared to the floor. So yeah, stairs are chairs. Got the image tab, I promise you. Oh, one of these? No, this is a vehicle. Is a mound a chair? What size is a mound chair or too small to be a chair? Is a desk a chair? Well, this is getting onto something that we haven't quite figured out yet. Does the, like, because obviously the size matters, but if we get a bit more in depth with that, does that mean weight? Does that include weight as well? Because obviously, like, a heavier person is gonna crush like a chair made of paper, but if you put a feather on a chair made of paper, it's not gonna crush. You understand the elevation point? Well, a chair as a concept is something. Like, you will be taller than the floor. So it makes you lower these start. No, it's elevation gained relative to if you were sat on the floor. Think like if you think going downstairs. Let's say your starting sitting position was the second floor of a house, and you then sat on the bottom step of the stairs leading up. That's not a chair. Relative to this bit, that's not a chair because you've decreased your elevation. Sure, if your sitting position has changed to the floor of the first floor, that is a chair. But if you're relative to the second floor, that's not a chair because you've gone downwards. Is a chair in a hole a chair? Right, I think we have to rethink this as well now, because that's a good point. I think it's not it's too abstract saying surface sitting position. That could be anywhere. A chair in a hole would be a chair. I think we're gonna have to do. I'm gonna reword this again. So, must give you elevation gain compared to if the chair was not present. So it must always be higher than what you'd otherwise be on if you were sat not on the chair. Yeah, that's better. That's better. DMs. Okay, no, this is a fair question. This is a fair question and a fair argument. Let me just add this onto the screen quickly. So this is what Kurt sent me, a little quick drawing. So, would this count as a chair? The answer, now with the reworded postulate, is yes. Because if that chair wasn't there, we would be sitting on the green at the bottom, yeah? But now that now the chair is there, we're sitting well above the green that's on the bottom. So that is a chair. And that is all the postulates satisfied as well. Is it a chair based on how far away from the edges of the hole to when it becomes ground? Well, yeah, if they're... So... I'm talking about the very specific area that the chair would cover. But then you'd be getting into breaking the laws of physics, because how do you have a chair in ground and you sit on the chair when there's ground there? That wouldn't work. That's an irrelevant argument. Right, if the concept of a chair, if you sat on a chair that had a crane attached to it and the crane lowered you below, does it cease to become a chair? No, because the chair is relative to the ground. If the ground is moving with the chair, then it's still a chair. Because if the chair wasn't there, you would have a lower elevation gain. Does the chair have to be inanimate? Not strictly, but for the we've not really thought about that. What if it goes underwater? Still a chair. If the chair goes underwater... Wait, easy way to think about it. Easy way to think about it. Let's say you were bound to the chair. You're bound to the chair like this. You can't get off the chair. Would you be lower or higher than you otherwise would be? Like, if you were outside the chair, would you be lower or higher? If the answer's lower, this is a chair. If the answer's higher, this is not a chair. This is a negative chair. It's an anti-chair. What if the chair is in space? Do you have to assume the chair is aligned with the surface somewhere in the universe? Well, we haven't really thought too much into that, but there always has to be a relative... This is now going on to Einstein's theory of relativity. So, he has a postulate where the speed of light is the same in all inertial frames of reference. We're going to reword that to include chairs. So the concept of a chair is the same in all inertial frames of reference. What does that mean? That means if you gotta be relative to something, yeah? If there's no ground, but you're still relative to something. Let's say you're on the International Space Station. You somehow get a chair out of the spacecraft and you're now sitting in space on a chair, but you're still relative to the International Space Station. You would still be sitting on a chair. Because if you weren't sitting on the chair, the tether holding you to the ISS would be strained slightly further, meaning that this would provide some elevation gain or some elevation relief, whichever way it'd be in space. There would be no such thing as elevation in space. It would be more just relative distance, because there's no direction in space. It's all directionless. So it'd just be relative distance. Well, surely the answer for underwater would be no, because your weight and mass would make the chair go down further, so it serves reason that if the chair wasn't there, you'd be higher. We haven't taken weight and mass into account yet. This is just purely depth at the moment. The idea is if you were sat on a chair and you started going downwards, some part of the chair would reach the ground before you did. Therefore, it is providing elevation gain. Weight and mass is irrelevant. When I say size, I mean literal size. Like, just scale. You can think of it as a scale. Think of it as a proportional relationship instead. All on the chair talks. Good to hear, good to hear. Is the base of the chair to the area of seating? Elaborate. Does underwater even matter? Either way, you're surrounded by fluid, be it gas or liquid. That's a good point. That's a good point. I would say yes, it would, because there's still ground underwater. It's just covered by water. Do horses count as chairs? No, it violates the first postulate. You have to like get on a horse. It would only be a chair if you were bigger than the horse. Yeah, a horse, depending on the size of a horse is generally a ledge. Because you have to pull yourself up onto it. I know which ones you're on about. Yeah, a horse would be a ledge. If you had a step to get on. If the step made it so the horse then became beneath you and you could sit down, yes. Instead of pull yourself up. Because fifth postulate, to be a chair, the observer must seat themselves independently. That means you don't have to hold anything, you don't have to pull yourself, you don't have to do anything like that to get on. If the chair is alive and changes position, can it become a chair momentarily? That's a really good question. That is a really, really, really good question. If the chair is alive and changes position, can it become a chair? If it's stationary, then yeah, it'd be a chair. Does it transition from ledge to chair? Yeah, it would transition from ledge to chair at some point. If you, the distinction comes from when you can do it independently. If you don't have to pull yourself up, it becomes a chair. Transgender. Yeah, transgender. It's real. But yeah, so you could almost think of this as the 3 states of matter for chairs. And then the transition point is like the plasma of the chair, not. Got definitive gender drop. Yeah. Human cannonball? What? Well, like, if I sit on a chair and it moves into position where it is now ledge, is it no longer a chair despite me sitting on it as a chair? No, it's still a chair because relative to your sitting, but you're now right. So if you sit on a chair and it's now becomes a ledge, it's still a chair to you because you're on it. Because, so basically, this is going to this one. It's below you, therefore it's still a chair. To an observer who might be down there, that's now a ledge. But to you, because you're sitting on it, that's a chair. Because they used to fire off performance. If you're to get in those at a sitting angle, would it count as a chair? Okay, right, let's go through the postures. Right. Would it be lower? Yeah. Yeah, it would be, if you can get in it. Would it give you elevation gain? Yes. Would it be relative to the size? Depends on the size of the cannon, depends on the size of the observer. We'll assume yes for this one. Must move independently of any other object or system. Yeah, usually they'll like wheel it on and all that. Must seat themselves independently. No, it would not be. Because you'd have to get in the cannon. You can't sit down on the cannon. You can sit down on the cannon, that would be called a chair. But getting in the cannon, that's a different thing. That'd be, you'd be seating, that wouldn't be independent because you'd have to like grab the ledge and pull yourself inside. So, human cannonball at the circus is not a chair because it violates the fifth postulate of the Goldilocks chair theory. That actually might be the first time that sentence has ever been said. So we're saying, well, if the person is bigger than the horse, then the horse is a chair. The horse is a chair relative to that observer. Does it make a chair for that person? Yes. Yes, it does. Do you guys want to know something absolutely insane? We have basically just reinvented Einstein's theory of relativity for chairs. This is science talk. Hi, Turtle. Yeah, this is science talk. This has just made me think, minus the maths side, I've basically just taught you guys relativity. Well, that's what I knew every day. This is how they get into them. Oh, wait, hang on. Is there like a method to get into them? Right. How they get into them is an important distinction. Unmute that. I think that music might be copyrighted. Oh. Oh, do they kind of like... Okay, no. Chair plasma's a bit. Don't worry, chair plasma's a bit. I'll get rid of that in a moment. It's not a real thing. I'm just like, your heart, exactly. If they slide in, then yeah, maybe it might be a chair. This opens a whole new question, though. Does the way you sit on a chair change the type of chair it is? I think they do. Right, let's see. Do they actually... Loki, I just can't see this happen now. Oh, it doesn't actually show it. Guys, are you ready to be amazed? Oh, fair enough, brother. Fair enough. So yeah, I think they do. I think they do. They do slide in. So they technically sitting in they're technically getting in independently. So maybe we'll say that's a yes. If I lie down on a chair, is it a chair? Out that cannon, tell me straight that he was not sitting in that cannon. Oh, was he standing? Oh, no. No, it's not then. The Clash Royale halftime show. True. Really shows it one-to-one in actual quality. Oh, for real? Oh, here we go, here we go. Yeah. Let's see how they actually get in. Well, this is already not looking good. Sorry, you have to excuse the quality. I'm not turning up. I don't want to accidentally kill the stream. Right, how does he get in? Yeah, no. Complete violation. Complete violation. He's grabbing it. This is a ledge. Yeah. Yeah, that was completely a ledge. This is completely ledge. Yeah, sorry. No, complete violation of the postulates. Oh yeah, cool as hell, but unfortunately, yeah, that would be considered a ledge under this theory. May not. It might not be. It might not be, but allegedly. So why are high chairs not chairs? So because babies get in high chairs, but they can't get in themselves. They have to be lifted in. Because again, you gotta remember. This one. And this one. Unless you've got a, like, ridiculously tall baby. The baby's gonna be shorter than the chair. It's going to be shorter than the high chair. Therefore, it's violating the first and third postulate. And fifth. And fifth. Why not apply the horse logic to high chairs? We are. A horse is a ledge, unless you're taller than the horse. So the toddler swing out part one, so there's no implication the high chair is occupied by a baby. Yeah, then that wasn't a chair though. That was a swing. So the baby. It's a chair for a tall adult, but not for a baby. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Relative to the observer. If the baby stands up and it's on the same level surface as the high chair, it's gonna generally be shorter than the high chair. Therefore, it violates the first postulate, which means high chairs are not chairs. Hot tub. I'm going to say bathtub first. So, bathtub, let's go through it. So, it's lower than the observer relative to the observer. Yes. Unless you're shorter than the bathtub, then it's not. It's a ledge, because you have to climb it. To be a chair, it must give you elevation gain. Yeah, it does. It does, because it's on top of the surface. Relative to the size of the observer, yeah. To be a chair, it must move independently. Oh. No, that's still correct because you bolt in bathtubs. It's you don't build a house and then the bathtub is like built in, unless sometimes it is, but then that'd just be a ledge. That'd be a ledge you fill up with water. What's up, Nemo boy? Welcome. seat themselves independently. Yeah, you can seat yourself independently on a bathtub. Yeah, bathtub's a chair. We have politics about chairs for. Don't worry. This has been the most elaborate and longest bit I've ever done on this channel. We're basically saying what counts as a chair, and we've been going on about this for like an hour and a half. And this is like the rules we have set out. This will be a video. Yeah, this will be a video. Am I a chair or a ledge? It depends who's climbing you. A chair is a chair. Please play Hive. All I'm saying is my view count's doubled since I started talking about chairs. You could be my chair, I'm taller than you. No, because... If you're in a helicopter and the helicopter moves you relative to sea land, does sea land count as a chair? Yes. Is the Hive a chair? You can't sit... Yeah, you can't sit on the Hive, so it's not a chair. Bro, play Hive. Nah, bro, we're talking about chairs now, man. We're talking about chairs. The Hive sign. You saw the Hive. True, no. The Hive sign would be a chair. The Hive sign would be a chair. Yeah, the Hive sign would be a chair. If you get on a mount, it will be lower. Yeah, you just fall down. How do you sit in Minecraft, though? True. Game limitation, unfortunately. But it plays on Spotify. Oh, yeah, that's the, You're right, it is on Spotify. Basically, what I did was because, I didn't really want my Spotify Wrapped to be all Deltarune. I just kind of remade it. I remade it over on, YouTube. I guess you could hit an emote. Yeah, that's a fair shot, though. But I think we're onto something here. I think we're really onto something here. So I think let's expand on what a surface ground. So this is ground in which a chair is not present. So this is the floor and like a field and things such as. What if the chair has impelled you? Is it still a chair? No. Violates first postulate. If it's impelled you, relative to the observer, it's now level or higher than you. Like the part you're sitting on. So no, it's not. So, surfaces ground which a chair is not present. Chair. See above. Ledge. Chairs that are Right, chairs that violate one or more postulates. Well, no, I should probably say objects, shouldn't I? Objects. What about these things both ways? Oh, good question. Good question. So, let's get the postulates up. So, lower than the observer relative to the observer. So, I'm just going to assume for this case that this is on a flat surface. It's not in the water. Otherwise, I'd have to be levitating. If you're taller than it, it's a chair. Well, no, sorry. If you're taller than it, first postulate stands. Second postulate stands. Third postulate stands. Fourth, fifth. Yeah. So if you were taller than this, yes, that would be a chair. Inside, however, it must be lower than the observer relative to the observer. If we're taking the whole object into account, if you were inside of it, you'd have all this space above you. It would not be a chair. It violates the first postulate. And also, that brings up more questions because what? So now there's like, not only the anti-chairs, there's like inverted chairs where you're inside it instead of outside it. I think you could not be inside a chair. Sure, just credits throne since the back of it is higher than the seated part. Well, no, the thing is, with the image you said, it's a sphere. I'm going off of the idea it's a sphere, so any part of it could be the bottom of the chair. Therefore, any part of this, like, you could also sit on. A bit wise. True. Yeah, because this is a sphere. Any part of this could be any other part of it. If you wanted to take a fixed relative position, let's say the zip, this bit here, if you were to sit on that at the top and everything was below you, then that'd be a chair. However, if it was flipped around and you went to sit on it, oh wow, you're under the water. It's not a chair anymore. Well, it's a chair. It's an upside down chair. It's an anti-chair because you go downwards. Your elevation gain is negative. So thrones are still chairs because the part you sit on is still in all the postulates. This should be a chair, right? Would Yoshi be a chair? Let's go through the postulates. So, lower than... Okay. So we're going to assume because he's obviously... He sits on the shell. We're going to assume we're talking about the shell. Apply horse logic. Yes, horse. Yeah, it's a chair then. Yeah, sound. It's a chair. Yoshi's a chair. Yoshi chair is real. Chicken jockey. Chair. Oh! No, because the baby zombie is... No. Horse logic. It's a ledge. The chicken of the chicken jockey is a ledge because the baby zombie is not tall enough to get on it independently. You have to jump to get on the chair. That is that a ledge? Yes, because that'd be postulate 5. Unless the chair is already below you and you're jumping from a higher height onto the chair. That would still be a chair. But if you're having to jump up on the chair, that's a ledge, not a chair. A low table? Depends how low we're talking. Relative to who? It's canonical where the zombies got all the chickens, so it's inclusive. You just spawned. True, but you're not pulling yourself up. Correct, however, it's not independent. Independent means you could just sit down. If you have to jump up, that's not independent. That violates the 5th postulate. As a chair, not a stomach. I don't know. Low enough to be able to sit independently. Yeah, that'd be a chair then. Does the inside Kirby stomach count as a stomach? Bro, yeah, nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Chair. Nah, I don't know. I don't know the lore of Kirby. I don't know how his stomach works. Have we got any more ideas? What if by sitting on said chair, the chair gives way and breaks? Well, I think at the instant of breaking, it becomes an anti-chair briefly, because then you start de-elevating. Because once you sit on a chair, that chair becomes your new surface. So, it's for it to be classified as a chair again, it would have to be... It'd have to be an elevation gain. But then that would be a ledge. So if it were to break, it's no longer a chair, it's an anti-chair, and then at the end of the... You can think of it as like a chemical reaction. So you start off as a chair, the process of breaking makes it an anti-chair, and then the output of the process is a surface. Because it's ground in which a chair is not present. If you're wearing clothes and sit on the ground, are your clothes a chair? No, we're assuming because it has... Look. That would violate the 4th postulate. Your clothes are on you, they move when you move, therefore it doesn't move independently. So that would not be a chair. How do you... I actually... This is actually like... It's making too much sense. What about water itself? Anti-chair is the in-between phase. Yeah. Because that's the So sitting on an anti-chair is the process of de-elevation. You are losing elevation, which is what an anti-chair makes you do. Does the ocean count as a chair? Alright, see you later. See you later. What about wheelchair? Well, I think we'd have to make some assumptions, but I'm going to say yes, is a chair. Floating in water counts sitting in chair. Well, no, because you'd be in. If we're saying the water is the chair, you'd be inside the water, meaning you're inside the chair, which cannot happen. Does the chair have to be physical? Yes. You can't have plasma chairs or water chairs. That's not how that works. You just go through. Yeah, I was going to say, this is all still in the physical realm. Was water, it's not ground, it's not chair, it's not ledge. It's a liquid, so it's out of this conversation. What counts as a chair to a crippled man? I haven't thought about that. I actually don't have an answer for that. Wooden chair things that you strap to your legs. Chair. Oh, no. Not chair. Not chair. It violates fourth postulate. If you strap them to your legs, they move when your legs move. Therefore, it's not moving independently. Does this fit the criteria? It's the Yoshi image again. Oh, no, my chat hasn't updated. Thanks, YouTube. Let me refresh. Does this fit the criteria? Okay, let's have a look. Oh, zero gravity chamber. Right. Would a zero gravity chamber fit? Well, no. Because it's not a physical object. You can't seat yourself in zero G. Yeah, that cannot be yeah, that can't be a chair because it's not physical. Define seat. Stay. Have a be at rest relative to the chair. You are seated if you and the chair move as one. Oh yeah. Remember, this is still the concept of a chair. Chairs as a concept, you sit down. Like, physically. It is still a physical concept. I think there's no way to make a fluid chair. I don't think there is. They could have... Oh, what? Oobleck? What's up, my name is... What's the Minecraft stream? It was until it wasn't. So yeah, this is for purely not Euclidean objects. So things that are solid and stay solid. You can see apply full suit to not sink. Exactly, you can't. You would sink in eventually. Divide seat again. A seat is a seat if you if at rest you and the if you are moving at rest relative to the chair. If you are on the chair, like, so you let momentary count as a chair, it would have phases in and out of being a chair. Because atoms never touch. Good point, they do never touch. However, we are talking, well, atoms don't touch, but they repel. So I guess you could say when the atoms of the chair and the atoms of the observer repel enough to the point where gravity and the repel of the electrons are equal, making it look visually like they are sat down, that would be count as seated when they're at rest relative to the chair. That is also a good point. The thing with atoms is, well, I was talking more about the elevation gain aspect of it because atoms don't have a concept of direction. Atoms are directionless, so it doesn't know what elevation gain is. That's only something the observer knows. But that's more for if we're talking like, wow, what point does the surface become a chair? Like, when does the atom suddenly know it's gained elevation? It doesn't, because there's no relative. It doesn't have anything relative. Stupid, don't even know what up is. Exactly. I just realised we've spent an hour and a half on this point. Does a mountain count as a chair? Alright, let's go for the postulates. It would count as a chair to someone higher than, well, taller than itself. It would give you elevation. It would be relative to the solid observer. It must be independent. Ah! It would not be. It would not be because mountains are part of the Earth. We're really talking relative to Earth. So mountains themselves, no, they are not. They are not chairs. So if you don't think it's a chair, does it not count? Is chair a set of mind? Yes. Well, okay. The atom knows when it's a chair because it knows when it's not a chair. Well, again, this is going back to the whole thing. We're talking about atoms. We're talking about chairs as a concept. What about naturally formed chair trees? They're not chairs because they can't independently move. You can't move a chair. They're part of the Earth. So if something can't think, it can't sit on a chair. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying individual atoms cannot sit on a chair. Because the distinction between what is an atom of the chair and what's an atom of the air is not possible to distinguish. A blob of mercury. A blob of mercury cannot be an observer as it does not have consciousness. Therefore, it cannot sit on a chair. State of mind. If I believe something is a chair, how much does it become a chair? If you believe it's a chair and it follows all the postulates, then yes, it is a chair. No, can a blob of mercury be a chair? Depends what state it's in. Because at room temperature, it's a liquid. Kratos could be a chair, therefore he's a chair. I'm not a chair, bro. I'm not a chair. No, so a blob of mercury cannot be a chair because at room temperature it's a liquid. And also third postulate. To somebody, yes. To me, no. Bullshit, tell me you're not a chair if I'm not. Okay, so assuming George is the observer. Right. To be a chair, must be lower than the observer relative to the observer. Okay, so I'm 6'4", George is 6'6". So yeah, that's valid. Elevation gain. Yes, that's valid. That one is kind of a given. I can move independently. Question is, would he be able to seat himself independently? What about a chair that's cursed to kill you right before you sit on it? It would still be a chair. It'd just be the chair that kills you. Because a chair can still be a chair even if you're not sitting on it. These are the postulates are just if you were to sit on it. Alright, I'm George's chair now, apparently. Okay, bro. Awesome, Samcraft, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, happy new year, hope you're good. I'm doing great. We're debating chairs right now. We're having a great time. We've asked the philosophical question of what counts as a chair. So what service we were? Oh, great. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. But yeah, so... I think this is as far as we can take the theory for now. I think we've... Let's give you elevation game. If nothing can sit on the chair and have its soul, mind, brain, heart, surely it can't fit that criteria. If it kills everything, then that'd be Schrodinger's chair. That chair would not be a chair until someone sits on it. Because you would never know if you could seat yourself independently. Scarf's chair. Yeah, Scarf's chair. Person's not a chair until they move into the chair position. True. Otherwise, they are a ledge. Anyway, should we call it there? Be back in someone. Ledge. Because you have to, like, kind of grab them. What we consider a tree stump. Well, tree stump would be connected to the earth. So, it would be it'd be ground. It'd be a surface. And get your leg on the shoulders, right? Yeah, but Scarf, the reason why it's a ledge is because you have to jump on. Think this. First postulate, it has to be lower than the observer for it to be a chair. If you have to jump on, that means that implies that it's taller. So you have to it's not a chair because you have to jump on. Well, what about a smaller person? I guess. I still think no, because you have to hold on. If you bolt a chair to the earth magically, still a chair because it's bolted. You can undo the bolts, and then it's just a chair. If you pull out of the earth, is it no longer ground? Correct. If you pull out of the earth and place it down, you can move it independently. It will then become a chair. But if it's connected to the earth, it's ground. It's a surface. Because it's not an object. Because it's part of the earth. Earth isn't an object in this case, unless you're talking relative to the universe. Everything I'm talking about now is relative to earth. So it has to be something. So by definition, this one would have to be true. So someone they're lower than me. If I jump, it doesn't invalidate that. It wouldn't invalidate this, but it would invalidate this because you still have to jump. Is an object connected to the earth using the earth as a chair? Depends. Does it follow the postulates? Just because in the ground doesn't mean it's immovable in the ground. Exactly. If you can still move it in the ground. If we're talking about the stump, yeah, if you can still move the stump in the ground, that's technically moving it independently, but that's also moving stuff around in the earth. I mean, when I made the fourth postulate, I meant like, could you pick it up and move it about? Start stream. What's my next stream? Next stream is Thursday. We're still playing through Undertale Yellow, so feel free to stop by for that. Tree roots are not part of the ground. Yes, however, they cannot move independently because you have to move the ground. If you wanted to move the tree stump, you'd have to pull the dirt and everything along with it, meaning you're moving another object. Same thing with the bolts. It would technically be surface until you remove the bolts and could move it independently again. If you move a mound of dirt, is that a chair? No, you're just moving surface. Because you can almost think it'd connect to the ground. The TARDIS. Object. Right, I think this is enough for today. Let's do top chatter and we'll finish up. We can always discuss this more on Thursday when we're playing Undertale Yellow. Expect some shorts of this to be made because I feel like this might be a pretty good way of getting engagement. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll do top chatter now and then we'll finish up. So, there have been 491 messages today. Here we go. Number 1 is Kurt with 231. Number 2 is Rafe with 173. Number 3 is Gracie with 96. Number 4 is Scarf with 75. Number 5 is George with 60. Number 6 is Turtle with 46. Number 7 is this person with 21. Number 8 is Pickle with 14. Number 9 is Firestick with 12. Number 10 is Noobs with 10. Number 11 is Pubert with 8. Number 12 is Mind with 7. Number 13 is Pringo with 7. 14 is Rascal with 7. 15 is Akil with 7. 16 is Bowen with 6. 17 is Clover with 5. 18 is Bingus with 3. 19 is Nemo Boy with 3. 20 is Sam with 2. Into down the stream into one video might be a better idea than shorts. I'm going to do both. Don't worry. I know, right? My plan is I'm going to make this a full length video. And then I'm going to make shorts of each section linking to the video so they can see the full thing. Don't worry. Big brain moves. Anyway, number 21 is Elijah with 1. 22 is Firestick with 1. 23 is Cam with 1. 24 is Cynical with 1. And 25 is Spiros with 1. So there's one big arrow. Yeah, it'll be done. Don't worry. It will be done. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Banger stream. I'll see you all on Thursday for Undertale Yellow. Keep on gaming. Stay safe. And I'll see you all soon. Hang on. I'm going to turn this off just because I don't quite know what will happen if I just end it like that. So, thank you for watching. Keep on to gaming. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. My voice. You guys can tell my voice off. Bye-bye.